Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Laura and I am wrapping up the month of November. I read 8 books. I am going old school. Yes, I am going to be using my journal. This is my reading journal. I can't get my phone to download to my laptop because my laptop is full and there's no more memory. So I'm going old school. Here we go. I'm going to start with the first book that I read in the month of November. It was a book that I read Read with Friends. And the book that I read was this one, Kristen Hanna, The Nightingale. I really, really enjoyed this one. I gave it 4.5 stars. It was almost a 5. Yeah. It's about 2 girls who are Catholic and they live in France. And it takes place during the World War II time. And I really, really enjoyed it. Definitely. That was my first book reading by Kristen Hanna. And I definitely will be reading more of her books, which I own. I just haven't had the time to pick them up. So that's the first book. Okay, so the second book, because we are in November, nonfiction November, I decided to pick up, I actually read 2 books that were nonfiction. So the first book that I picked up was an audio book that I had on my list for a very long time. I picked up The Gifts of Imperfection, and this is by Bren Brown. I don't know if I said that right, but here you go. That's what the book looks like. Okay, so I had it on audio. It did have a couple of good points in it. I did agree with some of the things that they said. I didn't learn much about anything in this book. I did agree with do what makes you happy, and also to dance in the kitchen with your kids. I thought that was pretty interesting, and I do try to do that from time to time. Yeah, so I gave this one 3 stars. It was okay. It didn't like really grab me so much. So that's that one. Okay, so the next one that I read for nonfiction November was Quiet Power, and this is by Susan Cain, and the book looks like this. And I read this for my Q read for my ABC challenge. So, yeah, this one was good. This is a YA book. There is an adult book called Quiet, but I didn't get to read that one. But I had this one on audio, so I figured I'd listen to this one. It's about introverts. And yes, I did learn a lot in this book. I did give this one 3 stars, though. This book, I learned that I am an introvert. I don't like to go out. I don't like to be around people. I don't like crowds. I like to sit home and read books and stuff like that. And when I am with a whole bunch of people, I want to go home. I don't want to be there. Yeah. Also, when I have people come over, even my family members, they come over and I'm like, when are they going to leave? Yeah, I like to be alone. Yeah, so I am an introvert, but this book gives you some ideas of how to learn to live as an introvert, because everybody else is an extrovert and likes to party and all this. Yeah, all my friends that I work with, they like to party, and I am not like that. So, yeah, so I am definitely an introvert. Okay, so the next book that I read in the month of November was a book that I read in my book club. And the book that I read was Replica by Lauren Oliver, and it looks like this. It has a front and a back, and one side of the book is told by Lyra, and this back of the book is told by Gemma. I read it chapter back and forth. I read chapter 1 of Lyra, chapter 1 of Gemma, and went back to 2 and 2, and I kept flipping the book back and forth, back and forth. I gave this one 3 stars. It was okay. I did like Gemma's part more than Lyra. And it did remind me of this TV show on Netflix called The Stranger Things. I was just waiting. I was waiting for monsters to come out, or whatever, creatures or whatever they have. But there was no creatures in this book. The part with Lyra and Gemma, they were in like a building, and they were experimenting on them, and they were making replicas. So yeah, and in the Stranger Things show, there is a girl named 11, and they shave her head, and they do experiments on her. So it just, I said to my husband, I'm like, I feel like I'm reading that show. So yeah. So anyway, when I finished the book, I didn't like the ending. And I just found out that there is a sequel, so that's probably why I didn't like the ending, because there will be more books. So there will be another book to this one. So yeah. So I give this one 3 stars. It was okay. Okay, so the next book I picked up my I was going to say July, my J read for the ABC challenge, and I picked up Just What Kind of Mother Are You by Paula Daly, and that looks like this, sorry, it looks like this one here, and this one was amazing. I listened to it on audio, and I gave this one 4.5 stars. It was not quite a 5. It's told by 3 point of views, and I don't think I like multiple point of view books, but the first point of view is called by Lisa, and she's a mom, and she's a mom of 3 children, and she is very overwhelmed, and I could definitely relate to her character. Anyway, she is supposed to be watching a neighbor's daughter, and what happens is the daughter gets kidnapped on her watch. Which was really interesting. And the second point of view was the kidnapper, and you don't know who it is, and you're trying to read the book to find out who is the kidnapper. And then the third POV is Joanne, and she is the detective who's looking for the missing girl. I really enjoyed this one. There was lots of twists and turns, and it was pretty good. I think it's an adult book though, so I just want to warn you. Okay, so the next book that I picked up, I gave it 4 stars. And I picked up this one because of what's happening in my life right now. So the book that I picked up is Winter Girls by Laurie Hulse Anderson, and I gave this one 4 stars. And this one is it's a fiction book. It deals with suicide, it has eating disorders, it has cutting, and it has mental illness in it. I really enjoyed the book. The reason I dropped it down a star was because every chapter it had this number sequence, and I still don't know why there was a number sequence. So yeah, if anybody knows, let me know. And also throughout the book, because it's dealing with eating disorders, throughout the book she's constantly telling you, okay, she ate a banana, which is 4 calories, or she ate this and this 6 calories, and is constantly putting numbers. And so while you're trying to read it just distracted me, so that's why I dropped it down. Otherwise it would have been a 5-star. Otherwise it distracted my reading flow. So yeah, but it was really good. 4 stars. Remember, there's trigger warnings, there's suicide and cutting and all that stuff. So okay, so that's that one. Okay, so here I am going into my X read. Okay, I am a little embarrassed because I did read this book. Okay, my X read I got free on Amazon. Okay, it was recommended from the ABC challenge group. They said, why don't you read this one? So yes, I did download it for free, and I did read it. It's 26 pages long, but it is very graphic. It's a sex book. It's called Zombie, and it's spelled with an X. And look at this cover. Yeah, it is free on Amazon. It is book 1 of the series. There's 4 books, I think, to it. It is written by Brody Summers. Oops, sorry. My camera's just said I'm running out of battery. Okay. It's written by Brody Summers. And the concept is this zombie prostitute. So I thought that was pretty interesting about the concept. But however, these zombies are not zombies like dead zombies. These zombies are a lot, they're like transferring into a zombie, but they're very hot looking, and the sex scenes in this book were very gross, and you could definitely tell that a male was writing this book. Yeah, some things, and there was no feelings whatsoever in this book. It was basically porn, and yeah, I'm like horrified by reading this one, but I gave it 2 stars because it was readable, and the author, I think, does have some reading quality, which I think can improve in the following next couple of books. But if you just want to read porn, I'd say read it, but otherwise pass this one. Okay, so the next book that I read was an audiobook, and I really loved this book. It was I gave it 5 stars, and it's Every Day by David Levithan, and it looks like this. And I had it on audio, and I read this for my e-read for my ABC challenge. And every chapter, this is about a soul that wakes up in a different body every day, but he falls in love with one woman. So every day he's different, and every chapter was a totally adventure because you are a different person. I felt like I was reading new stories, new people, very exciting to read. And I didn't like the ending though. But there is a sequel, so I'm hoping that it gets better in the sequel. But his writing style was really, really good. I really enjoyed it, and I just learned that he is from New Jersey, the author. Yeah, he's from Hoboken, New Jersey, which is, I live in New Jersey, so I was very happy to see that. And this is the first time I read a David Levithan book. Yeah, I really liked it, and I definitely will be reading the next book very, very soon, because I did purchase the next one called Another Day in audio, and I just took out the book from the library, so hopefully I could follow along. So that is what I read for the month of November. I am in the middle of another book, and I am in reading on my audiobook. I started it today. I am reading my M read. I have M and Z left, and I'm finished for the year. I am reading Missing You, and it looks like this by Harlan Coben. It looks like this one. I just started it. I'm reading it kind of quickly. I'm on chapter 7 already. I'm really enjoying it, and I will be reading that for my M read. My Z read, I haven't decided yet. I might do the David Balducci book, but I'm not sure yet. And I finished 99 books. I have one more book to finish for my year challenge, so I'm doing really well. So that's it for now. I'm also reading another book. I don't even have it with me. I am reading Heartless by Marissa Meyer, I think. I'm not really liking it, but yeah, that's what I'm reading for the book club with Read with Friends. I was supposed to finish on Sunday, but I'm only on day 2, which is Tuesday. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm not really liking. She describes way too much. I'm hoping to finish it, but who knows? It might be a DNF. So anyway, thank you for watching, and I will see you in another video. Bye.